everyday people, everyday lives. Webafethu nansi indaba enkulu, heartfelt stories, different perceptions, different perspectives. Wosa ngixoxela indaba, these are stories from the hood. Cheers.
Alright, sikubingelele sikwamukele ohlelweni the Everyday People Show. Gama lami ngubhekani Msuthu wakwaZungu, the one and only official ex-boyfriend kaSne. Well, sinamukele kwenyakeni omusha. It's a brand new year and a brand new season. This is the episode 1 of season 2 of the Everyday People Show. Sithemba ukuthi abantu ba-granded bangene kahle unyakeni. And ba-ready because thina obviously ready for unyaka lo esiqalayo. So, as usual, siphethe abantu aba-interesting, sikhuluma nabantu abanezinto abazenzayo, sikhuluma nabantu abenza izinto emphakathini, because this show is all about everyday people. It's all about abantu who are out there who are doing things emphakathini wethu esiwakhele. And today akuhluke lutho because ngihleli nomfowethu la insizwa entshebe, igama lakho Sam wakathusi, social entrepreneur, vintage influencer. Usazochazela ukuthi what the hell is vintage influencer, because event organizer, photographer, and a whole lot of things that you're doing, my brother. Welcome.
Nkosi yami ngizizwa ngamkelekile ungakasho nje ukuthi welcome.
So Sam is your name? Sam, like you are just Sam? Normal is from...
Ukuthi uyazi emakhaya mfethu. Awuveli uzini igama nje Sam, khona umzali nje ngozali ingane ethi Sam.
That's why I'm asking.
Ngiphelele mfethu kahle usamkelo.
Oh, Samkelo,
yeah.
So you just did you decide would no, I'm just gonna lenza libe short ngibe uSam straight, noma it was somebody else who said no, Samkelo is too long, let's just make it Sam?
Sometimes we don't choose, yes, now amagama mfethu they just come up nje as slow as cool. In most cases kuya ngento yenzayo, or probably just out of igama lakho nje ubulula balo. So ngicabanga ukuthi Sam wa influencer kakhulu, since there are so lot of Uncle Sams out there.
Abantu abaningi abakwaziyo Mnambitha, abantu abakwaziyo uthukele KZN, they know you as someone who likes to dress up nicely, but ukugqoka kwakho usually kuya kube influenced by indlela yokugqoka kwakudala. Where does that come from? Phuma blend yakho ukugqoka ukuthi uthanda ukugqoka izinto zabantu abadala while umncane like this. I remember ngeke ngakubona lina ngujinjile intshebe la, and you really look like umkhulu engangambona before. But angazi ukuthi ngangimbona phi, but you really look like someone I've seen before. Omdala. Iphuma blend yokuthanda izinto ezivintage nezinto ezindala, especially when it comes to indaba yokugqoka. Ngisazobuya singene la ekuthenini indaba yokuthanda nje ukugqoka kahle. Where does it come from? Because lento ihamba nofuzo. Uthola ukuthi njoba ngikhuluma kanje mhlawumbe mangakutshela ukuthi ngifuze bani, it's something kuhambe. No, we'll talk about that later. So indaba ye-vintage iqhamuka ngaphi indaba yokuthanda ukugqoka the way uthanda ukugqoka ngakhona?
Okay, well, honestly, but angeke ngiqamla manga. Ukugqoka first came up as just into ubuka organizer. Honestly, uyazi masakhula mfethu kakhulu masabajida. Kube khona into ofisa ukufola under yona, yabo. It's uzofola namapantsula or uzofola under so lot of influential things, you know. So
certain group,
yes. It's either nina nizoduma mhlambe whatever ezobiduma ngaso sikhathi. So mina from my side, I was unfortunate ukuthi I didn't exactly have ama youngsters engakhula now, like abantu abaku age yami esingakwazi ukuthi siqoqane ngento eziku level yethu, you know. So out of being around abantu abadala, you get to be exposed to jazz music, classic, and also this kind of their lifestyle. And yabazi masabaxoxa ke bakenza ukuthi uphope ufeel ukuthi if they conference or whatever lento ayenzile out of the outfit ayigqokile, it really inspired them to go out there, you know. So being around nje leyo lifestyle nabantu ke abathanda ukugqoka kahle.
So you were that guy that sithi masithina siyahamba siyo rapper somewhere, and you like no ngizochilla nama uncle ngibona
bebangeka amajita phezulu. Well, ngaso isikhathi sibebangeka.
What do you mean bebangeka amajita kanti ukhulele kwena la ngeka amajita?
No, sengisho ukuthi wena fethu baba khona abantu but bangabi espacing sakhe eduzana, you know. So ukuthi you can't reach out to them, and uyabazi esikhathini esiningi kuba khona labantu abazihlasayo in a specific, you know. So mina ku environment ebengikhula kuyo bekunana naloko ukuthi unani ubani usukaphi. So abantu abadala yibo abantu aba-understand yonke into about life. You can just easily chill with them. Bona bakuthandela ukuthi bazoloko bakuthumile, but mina, for me it was fun because I mean they had so many stories to tell, and it was amazing, man.
So you chilled nabantu abadala and you're like, okay, I feel like I'm 60s and 17 you guys were
they had fun, trust me. They had fun.
So indaba you call yourself a vintage influencer.
Yeah.
Kumuntu ongazi out there like me, ukuthi lokho kusho ukuthini. What does it mean umuntu okuthiwa vintage influencer usukwenzani?
Okay. Siqale like just to abbreviate quickly influencer.
Yeah.
Influencer I believe yiwo nje ukuthi igama lelizwakale ngenye indlela yabo.
Yeah.
But influence I believe it's trying to emphasize something on someone or something in order for it to work in a little direction, right?
Yeah.
So vintage specifically it's a collection of old originals. Like nje I promise you if you can have the clear understanding around the vintage, the economy you can rise. Because the economy, trust me, book economy to ilahla ukuthi we don't know how to keep. We are able to get, but we don't know how to keep.
Okay.
Now, if vintage as a collection, if we have the idea, if we vintage, then we can be able to collect and keep.
So in simple terms, if you can be able to keep, ngifuna ukukhuluma ngempahla lezo kuzona.
Yes.
To be able to collect impahla endala and keep them for the future generation or the impahla ezigqoka manje to be able to keep them for ingane zethu ezayo. We can be able to keep anything actually.
Everything. Because ukhumbula silungu sikakhulazi kuleka vintage, it's not specifically impahla wena bhuti, like yonke into fethu, like from cars, you like yonke into, you know. So that's why you'd find ukuthi thina indlela vintage ishaya, we don't have the clear understanding around it. That's why we can't even keep izinto ogogo bethu bashela zona that could value time,
because
currently.
amasiko is vintage.
It's part of that. And there's so much information upon if we really had way of keeping that, you can imagine nje ugogo basakwazi nje bakwazi ngisho khamba nangebishanye libusuku namhlanje kuroko but cabanga besilale amapheni.
Angikwazi ukufakaza so ugogo was not on that department. But it's good. No, I think I get the idea of actually why you involve in ndabeni vintage and all these things and all that. Which I think it's a good thing because njengamanje mfethu we always cry isikhala ukuthi ayikho imisebenzi, we don't have anything to do and kanti mhlawumbe umuntu onjengayo engacabanga ukuthi okay maybe if I can just start something njengoba eshoyo like be vintage influencer ngikhumbuza abantu ukuthi actually in 60s this is how we dress, this the cars that they drive they drive by all these things. What's your long-term goal? Do we see you, because ngizoza kuma events, because you do these events nanokwenziwani kulama events, what's your long-term goal of being
this vintage
influencer? Do we see mhlawumbe uvula isitoro se vintage cars or vintage what uplanning? What's your plan?
Well, as I said, go when I king vintage ukuthi it can in fact really bring up our economy. Vintage also includes art, which art ngasho ukuthi ye build the concept here vintage. So as for my side, a long term it would be being at a level whereby our people understand the vintage to a point we are economically balanced in terms of wealthy, like know how to keep collections of not only mhlambe izinto esinika abazali but ezinye izinto ongakwazi ukuthi uzidevelop. Specifically mina, if I could see myself having or say owning mysterious gallery collections and be on the travel tourism kind of 11 when I can, because honestly, travel and tourism is one of my main vision of the whole idea, in being able to attract the whole wide world out there, knowing our vintage collection is one of the best collection the world could ever think of, especially Ladysmith. Yeah.
Well, in the few years, you started a vintage event. I don't know how you call it.
Vintage Sundays.
Vintage Sundays,
yes.
So that's where people come and dressed up ngendlela yakudala, whatever theme that you come up with, and then they come to that event. And what happens kuma event? And uqale when was the first event that you did a vintage?
Well, event as part of as being decided to influence vintage as a lifestyle. I realized ukuthi ku society sikuyo it's no longer easy to get into people's head in terms of what you're trying to expose, yabo, especially into obona ukuthi ngasebenzela ngo-advantage into esinazo. So doing an event, I knew was going to be able, in fact I was aiming for an attention of people being aware of this vintage and us being able to brainstorm it around and then being able to attract as in shit. So Vintage Sundays, it was an event idea which I spoke to one person, to another person, to another person.
Who are those people?
we speaking of I have abafethu ngiyacabanga abo omzokhanyayo
Yeah.
o ondabenhle, those were abafethu sisuka nabo from emakhaya nje straight yabo.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we always had this vision of doing things in a bigger extent yabo. So as they were also already, in fact they were already now kule journey this gentleman classic look, and they already in fact sasipusha nje from dala nje si emphasize.
So you guys are coming together, you're saying okay, here's the idea that I have.
And then we can be able ukuthi kwakuthi ngaleso sikhathi lesi space yazi makuthiwa izinto they are meant to be done. Ubona ukuthi uhlangana nabantu aba handy for you guys to reach where you want to be yabo.
Aba believer in the same dream.
Or who see the vision yabo. So I then also came across people like OJ Tulantini and then the guy at the time he was still running Adpro yabo. So Adpro, in fact it gave birth to Vintage Sundays, because as much as I tried to figure out we couldn't get in now, but Adpro was one of this original kind of vintage taste that allowed us to give birth to this event.
So I guess you had your first episode.
Yep.
At
the Adpro, yes.
How was it? How did it feel?
Well, it was yazi into yokuqala iyathusa. Kubusibili nokuthi what if it doesn't happen? Kubusithathu, well, and loss yabo. If my finances, konke lokho yabo. But they came through, man. They came through because it didn't come up as what we were expecting at first. But because of the support of abantu bebakhona at that time, it became something out of this world, Yes, and then yasi director namanye ama concept nama content esingaqhubeka so drive around. Kwakufika nabantu who uThepo was uThepo Mkwena also came in yabo, and he also was interested ku event as umuntu ufana noThepo kusumuntu ama windawo. So le event yavele yaba mature level ukuthi yamenza wafuna naye wa accommodate, I would say. We had abantu abaningi like uyametsi, we had uSamkelo slot, we had this brand, Ikelo brand, So yabo bekuyikasi lodwa, and you can imagine siyazana sodwa. So laphana kwavele kwafika nje thina vele sazanayo, and it became alive.
When was that? What year was that? Was it 2000 and what?
2018, if not 2018.
The first one. Yeah. How many episodes now? It was supposed to be 4 full episodes, but unfortunately episode 4 I wouldn't even call it a full episode, since I know which there's easy. We'll get into that, because I think a lot of people have a lot of questions about that, so I'm gonna try and use about episode 4. Why vintage? So you've had 3
successful events, and then I would say it's there, but
what does it take to organize an event like this? Now I do events there and there sometimes. I know it's not an easy thing to do. It's challenging. So much. What are challenges now doing these Vintage Sundays?
First things first, honestly, is trying to explain the whole idea. It's trying to take out the mountain from the head to the reality life that we live in. So as big as it is in my head, I'm still trying to be able to portray it, which abantu bayibona kahle ukuthi into yini and where are we going with it.
So that's one basic problem.
That's a huge challenge. I believe me, if we could have the same vision,
because honestly, aksioni concept elula. Let's be honest. If you walk to someone uthi nginale idea, I want to do Vintage Sundays where people come and they wear izinto zagogo nekamkhulu, and then they come and dance to the 60s music, and then it sounds nice, but engqondweni yakho futhi unako lokuthi but and then sesifikileke, and then we wearing those clothes, and then what? You understand? So it's very hard to explain those things. Wenza kanjani? How do you persuade people to come through and see ukwenzakalani? Because I know once you ubakhona once, it's easy to come back. Umuntu angakazeze. Like never before. Uthini yena? Kulula yabona, in terms of me, when I say no, there's a comedy show, abantu bayazi what to expect there. They're just here kuzobantu who are abashaya amahlaya, and then you laugh. Simple as that. Kule shadi ze vintage uthini kubantu?
Especially ladies meet king.
That's the thing.
Sure. Khona nje inkinga ngathi ngifika kuye ngathi mfethu I would like to invite you ku vintage Sundays. Waqala ngibuza nje into eyodwa nje ukuthi yini vintage?
That's the thing. You need to explain zonke lezo zinto because abanye abantu will not understand them the way you understand ngakhona.
Well, honestly when Nkosi yami ke depend as well enye inhlanhla engasho ukuthi nginayo which I mention it as a skill too. It's being able to create ama contents or ama concepts around the idea.
Yeah.
So from my previous experience, let me count from 2 and 3. What really worked for us there was indlela yethu sase approach ngayo towards the media and people. And you know, pictures speak louder. So webo nje episode 2 une thombe lezi that can really, if I can really show you which okay, this is what I'm talking about because because go one go by challenge because no few people understood but laba ba understand abakwazi ukufika so we capitalize ngama video akhona and pictures. Then episode 2 sa capitalize ngoku-emphasize kula pictures and we also took pictures thina like as abafethu like as laba benchila nabafethu siphila now. So we are able to dress up nathi and influence this, and it also worked ngokuhambela indawo like have a specific look. I remember we once went to extravaganza Bergville before our event and we had the look. People saw it.
So you guys will dress up the way that you will dress up with event. Then you event. Then you.
Yes, you
so
attend other
ask
events.
You what's going on? You're like, no, we have this thing. That is
And you even approach. I mean, the Vintage Sundays speaks more to elderly in most cases, like abantu abasethe cool. So it's you just approach them and let them know about. I'm one person who's not shy. I can knock every door if I have to, just to get someone to see what I'm trying to pursue or see what we're trying to sell to the whole idea. Because as ngishilo ukuthi, as much as Vintage Sundays ngaba concept ekhandekile, but the whole idea is for the world to be attracted to Ladysmith, for us to share the business of the traffic tourism. So
I understand you organize an event like this will need funding.
Definitely.
Which is money most of the time. Sengaba khona ke nokunye okuqhamuka esayidini. How do you raise funds? If you can share with me.
I can definitely. Well igcina wakhona mfethu ngiyacabanga futhi kokunye we learn and komunye umuntu mhlawumbe ungenza ukuthi adlule kula machines angakhona mhlawumbe na ukuthi asizakale okusizakale mina. But on my side at first it was adjustable since I had a backup of a little bit of a business. I used to do.
So you were funding it yourself.
I had to. I had to. I mean, if someone can see your child breathing, I mean, you have to do everything to make sure that they breathe. Because as soon as they breathe, then they can be able to speak for themselves. So I had to sacrifice. I had a lot of sacrifices, especially towards izinto. You end up making promises. You have to explain again and say, I thought, you know. So I mean, especially situation event, it has drained me, bra. I won't lie to you to a point. I haven't exactly got a sponsor.
Why do you think our sponsors are not like coming out as much as you wish they can come? Why do you think? Do you think it's because mhlambe they don't understand the concept, or maybe it's because of abantu abanamali or something else? Why do you think our sponsors are not like coming as much as you would like them to come?
Yeah, man. Honestly, I know there are specific levels of business where you have to be able to deliver in order for those people to be able to provide. I mean, in most cases, especially when it comes to a sponsor, as they need to benefit, right? So from my case, I believe it can be good or I haven't in fact got the right person or the right
but you've approached.
I have. In fact, the episode 4, Corona nje bro, yang finalizer, yang keeper nje into. Honestly.
So the businesses that you approach,
yeah,
are teen when they are turning you down, because
they don't people they don't. Bagazi bang decline as decline, yabo.
Yeah.
Some it's either of course probably they'll have an excuse because they're not interested, or some give you hope, say okay, no, we got you, keep doing it, we follow you, and then the last one, in fact, labo abakwazi uku-attractela the right sponsors.
Yeah.
Told this. In fact, I believe I could still get the very same assistant since mangachu izinto they go back to normal level. Okay. You know when the time is not right.
Yeah.
You just have to honestly accept what is correct.
So you've never got a sponsor for your...
As yet, no.
So everything was it's out of from your pocket and whoever you're working with at that time.
Yeah, I would say so. I would definitely say so, my brother.
Okay. And you've been doing it for 3 years now, ne? And
More to be precise, yeah.
Okay. All right, let's get into the last year's episode of Vintage Sundays.
Yes,
you know?
yes.
I was happy when I saw a poster, and on the poster I was like, Gunos Java on the poster. I was like, okay, this is now getting where it's supposed to get. You understand? I'm like, okay, Java is coming through to Vintage. This is big and all these things. And people were ready and everything and all these things. Yeah. And then what happens after? Because I hear I didn't happen. What happened?
Well, honestly, when I put it, futhi mase ngiyibuka nje eceleni nje yabo mase ngiyibukele nje because at first yazi mase sekuyibhizi uyocala udideke nawe like try to uthole so uthi hayi ubani ucabanga umona ucabanga konke lokho yabo but I realized ukuthi yabo makuthiwa into it's not the right time for it to happen. I promise you it doesn't happen because laphana Nkosi yami, as much as at first it was hard for me to get things together. It was way too hard. Just to get things together. And I'm one person for njengoba ngishilo ukuthi as much as kokunye kusabuka ngazothi hayi lo mchita, you know, but I know ukuthi people will again forget ukuthi ukhe waba uhlupho maso grand. They then like lo mchita kade.
Do you think kunabantu who think that uyabahlupha?
Mfethu abachita la ngaphandle.
How?
Some even tell me dog. Mina mfethu like njengoba ngitshela ukuthi like umuntu mfethu ubonayo ukuthi but yazi the Grootman mfethu khona mfethu uncane bekangangisiza ngawo. Like I mean njengerazo, you know.
Just intonyana nje.
Yes, njengerazo ukuthi mfethu nami mfethu ngizame mfethu yabo. Ubone ukuthi ukuchathela cause nje akathandi nje yabo. And not to say ukuthi uyakuchathela, I would say ukuthi uyasikhulisa, like it's part of trying to show you why you should stand on your own, like have your own foundation and be strong on it yabo. So
how does that make you feel when you approach someone and hoping ukuthi maybe there might be some help oyidinga noma mhlawumbe ngasabanga financially mhlawumbe somehow or advice or whatever, and that person angakuthathi the way when that would like them or you thought bangakuthatha ngakhona, you understand? Kuba khona ukuthi ukhona umuntu approach it, no, I have this event, this is what I want to do and this is what I want to do. Kube khona indlela ayibeka ngayo bese kuba khona umunye obona ukuthi you know what, this one doesn't have time for me. How does it make you feel as umuntu that you are saying ukuthi umuntu opersuasive? You just there kwenza ufile kanjani?
I just don't give up mfana. Most yabo bazokutshela ngisho ngibona ukuthi cha, but if I see potential ukuthi you might consider, because sometimes you ufuna into endaweni obonayo ukuthi vela ngeke uyithole. You know, so that's why you just need to move forward. But if I see ukuthi I mean you there is a potential ukuthi ungayi consider, I'm going to have to be consistent, bro. Like be persistent.
So kule episode yokugcina what happened? Izulu happened?
Yeah, nje lapha mfethu kwase organize, in fact kwase sesizamile ngalekelelo mfethu lapha ngenqami namanga. So many people came through. In fact abanye bakhona I believe ukuthi if they had capital power they could do more, you know. So they came through mfethu kwathi masekenzeka, and then imvula nje yavela thina yadlala. Something nje mfethu ngakazi nami ngayibona. In fact for the first time lapha I felt like I can't find umuntu unebhadi or khona nje lo ngithakathayo, because
then izulu and then nothing happened.
Bacha mfethu imoto like everything destroyed. Worst part ni sound in stage which it was supposed. Remember, even Sundays from day one, there's always this idea of an outdoor experience. You know? So if you remember from even our previous events, we always outdoor and had this specialty. And timing wise, we always consider more weather but at that time, on a very sunny day, normal day, it was normal. You don't say right.
So event didn't happen.
Couldn't angengibize nge-event but into engakwazanga ukudeliver according to what's in the package.
So you had people there ababekhokhile. What happened? Did you like give them? What happens? Do you give them their money back, or you tell them ngaphezu kwamandla? You guys will understand. What happens?
No, Well, honestly, there's nje manje well there was indlela that I had ukuthi ngidile ngayo yabo,
Yeah.
which I believe that would be confidential, but in most cases it was a matter of they have ama benefits within, because even Tisan is kuyinto a continuous, and already it's in a manner of drift of trying to change the approach yayo as according to situation, and have the very same people to host.
So basically you're saying people who came or who
Yeah.
paid for my ticket
Yeah.
did not get their money back,
Yeah.
but kuma episodes alandelayo Vintage Sundays,
Yeah.
they will be remembered.
Yeah, not only not only episodes as ngishilo ukuthi we had to drift yabo. So kulo drifting approach leyo ngiyafisa ukushare ama details wayo in to be precise yabo. But yeah, njoba
So
ngisho
there's something in the pipeline for them.
definitely.
Okay, all right, that's cool. But you know what? You know why I respect you? I respect your courage, Skoko. I respect ukuthi you are able to start something and be able to ufike egcineni nayo.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes uthola ukuthi okunye akusekho ezandleni zakho. At the end of the day, you've done everything when that you can. At the end of the day, sekusele with whatever that kumele kwenze ngaleso sikhathi. I respect the fact that you can start something that have never been engakazi ibe khona and make it ibe khona. Abantu ba believe kuyona, and for people to come and pay 50 rand to come to that event, you must know that you've started something abantu aba interested kuyona. That's what I respect on you, and ufisela inhlanhla in everything that you do, and nayo yonke into oyifisayo ukuthi yenzeke, you understand, and for this is from me to you. You know, sometimes you isn't easy. I mean, this one thing I've learned a bit. You don't have isn't easy in the you just let them be. Just let them go. Hamba ne flow yakhona. Yabo, because mangabe flow yakhona iyale, just go with the flow. Let it go easy, yabo. Khona kungeza ukuxaka kakhulu, because one masuyijaha kakhulu awusakhona ukuyichaza kahle kubantu, sakhona ukwenza izinto ezinto. But I respect the way owenza ngakhona. I respect the courage yakho. I respect perseverance yakho. Now mobunye abantu abangihluphile kakhulu, like hey I want this, I want that. So I'm happy ukuthi today we're here and we're talking about that, and we're talking about ukulungisa amaphutha that happened in the past to make sure that in the future whatever plans that you have izinto zakho ihamba kahle ngendlela right. Thank you for your time, Skoko. Thank you for coming through, and 2021 is still new. Asazi ukuthi COVID izosibeka aphi, but I know for people like you already have plans for 2021, and we're saying good luck.
Thank you.
Ngayo yonke indlela, and we'll give you support. If you have to come here again to talk about whatever that you're doing, we'll create a platform for you to come here and talk about it. Because at the end of the day, we have to push and push and push.
Yeah.
Sabonga cool. Thank you for your time. There was Sam Nkosi yam. Why Nkosi yam though?
Sure. Why ungibuzanga mfethu saqala?
This is what I'm asking now. Nkosi yam, what does it mean?
Because
I've seen Nkosi yami gallery, Nkosi yami whatever.
Of course, dog.
Nkosi yami
yabo realizing nje ukuthi wonke umuntu uyinkosi, wonke umuntu like nje wonke umuntu nje emhlabeni nje mfethu. Everyone has their crown, everyone has their thrones, everyone has nje their you know,
so you
they
just take
deserve
everyone like Nkosi.
They deserve that.
So you everyone like Nkosi yami.
They deserve it, dog.
That's nice.
They deserve it.
Thank you, siyabonga ne.
Nkosi yami.
Sibonga khona sekuphela isikhathi. Thank you very much for tuning in the Everyday People Show. Don't forget to subscribe bafethu. Press subscribe, press notification. Subscribe. Make sure that you are subscribed bafethu, so that we will grow in numbers. Sikwazi ukuthi to give you more content with good quality and everything. Thank you. Shout out to a crew there. Jay no Makhosi Siyabonga kakhulu ya there bona we crew camera. Until next time bafethu, thank you very much. Season 2 where Everyday People Show ikhona kwi 150 Express on YouTube. Thank you siyabo. Sharp.
Nkosi yami.